Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you? Welcome wherever in the world you are coming from. Welcome, welcome. I'm very excited about tonight because I'm back in my comfort zone where I love to talk to the athletes. So tonight we have another outstanding Jamaican Olympian in the building, another of Jamaica's outstanding athletes. But welcome wherever in the world you are coming from. Welcome, welcome, whether it is Africa, Europe, Asia, Antarctica, Oceanic, North America, South America, wherever you are in the world tonight, today, this morning. Welcome to HP Chat Track once more. And I am your girl, HP. And I, of course, another time I have another opportunity to talk with one of our outstanding Jamaican athletes. Please remember to like, spread the word, share, and everything because we're going to be having fun with Shericka Williams tonight, another one of Jamaica's darling. Josiah, if you're watching, good night to you. Good night, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good evening, good morning. Welcome, welcome. It is all about track and field, all about Jamaica track and field legacy. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back with my guest. Don't move, don't touch that dial.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio, where track and field is our business. Jamaica, one people, one legacy.
Track and field chats, we say. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome once more. Welcome. And with me is my outstanding guest here tonight, Shericka. Good night. Okay, I think Shericka. Okay, she's back with us. Shericka, good night. Welcome to HP Chat Track. How are you? Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. And how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It is a pleasure having you here tonight. Talking to you after watching your entire career. It is really a pleasure having you. Man, you are glowing. What a pretty face, guys. Welcome each and everyone. Already we have Monica Lewis in the building, and we have Vivian Morano, 1988 Olympian, and 1972 and 1976 Olympian, Bonnie M, Ivan Saunders, and of course we have another outstanding Jamaican athlete in the building, J Jar, in the name of Giovanni Jarrett. For those of you who know that long jumper, she's in the building also. Hello, Josiah. Welcome also. But back to Shericka. Shericka, I'm so excited to talk to you tonight. So forgive me if I seem a little starstruck, but welcome again. And just to break the ice, Shericka, where in Jamaica are you from? Tell us a little bit about where you're from, the community that you grew up in.
So I am from a community in St. Elizabeth called Whitehall. It mainly consists of family because we have a lot of family. We had a lot of land and stuff like that. See, my great grandfather, he was working for the British at the time, so they had gifted him a whole lot of land. So majority of my community is family based, and then he started selling. So we had other outsiders, but it's from a small community named Whitehall, close to Newmarket and close to Middle Quarters and Black River.
And that's in St. Elizabeth.
Yeah.
What they call St. Elizabeth again? The breadfruit,
Parish.
the basket.
The breadbasket parish.
The basketball. You see,
The
Sharika,
parish with a whole lot of food. The best food ever is from
yes,
St. Elizabeth. Sorry.
I've heard. And as I told you, Sharika, we're here to have fun. It is an interview, but it's one of those platforms where you just have fun, let down your hair, and just have a lot of fun. But someone put you on the spot, and I'm going to tell you who. And I was told to ask you what is your nickname and how you got that nickname. And I'm going to tell you who. I'm going to tell you who. Davian Clark. When Davian discovered that you were coming on the show, Davian messaged me and said, "Big up yourself, Davian. Good night to you and your family if you're watching." Davian said, "Ask her what is her nickname and how she got it." So spill the beans.
I got it when I was at States because I was super skinny and everybody called me Y. So I
Wire.
think we were running Western Champs one year and I was just wiring down the track. I was like, go wire, wire, and then starting go wire, wire. And it was just that's how it comes. And from I was at States and then it just stick and it just like wire all my life. Ask 90% of people that they don't even know my real name.
Wow. I'm going to be honest with you. The first I am hearing. Normally, I'm a big fan of nicknames, and if it wasn't for Davian Clark today, I would not know that because I've always hear your name, Sharika, Sharika. So to hear
Maybe
that you have a
as
nickname,
wire.
Waya, you hear that, guys? She was Waya while she was in school. So you were very skinny, you said.
Yeah, running track I was averaging. I think the highest I've been was 115. Yeah, so I
Wow.
was really skinny. In high school, I was less than 100 pounds. I was really, really skinny.
Wow.
Actually,
And
going around the track, I don't know. I guess I was strong.
so why did you choose the 400? I didn't even have that question yet, but now that we're talking about you being wire, why did you choose the 400 then for somebody who was so small?
I did not choose the 400. So I used to run the 1-2 because I went to
Hmm.
primary camps for St. Elizabeth and I did the 1-2 there. But while I stayed, I think for the first 2 years at champs, I did the 1-2, and then one day this coach, he coached cricket at the time. He came to my coach at the time, Mr. Eldemeyer Simit, and said, "I think this girl should run the 400." And he let me try it, and yeah, that's how it started. So I run it for 3 years in high school. I did pretty well. I run 53.5 in high school. I got bronze sometime in whatever in 2000. I don't remember a bronze or silver, whichever one, I don't remember. And that's where I started, and even going to MVP at the time. My first year at MVP from a
Before we even get to MVP, because I'm going to ask you about that, but let us backtrack a little bit before we get to MVP. High school, primary school, high school, before you even get to high school, you run at the primary level. Is there anybody, anyone that you were inspired by why you chose sports? Was there a role model? No, Sharika, there must have, look here, why? There must have been one person that you
not
saw.
Not
You,
while I was in high school. When I reached high school, that's where I truly start to understand what I was really doing and how good I was. So for us, we used to walk everywhere, we used to run everywhere. So that was a part of just growing up. So we used to have a lane that we used to run with me and my cousin. We used to just go out there and just run, brace each other. So when sports day come, we just run at sports day in primary school, and then from sports day in primary school, then you have DA champs. You go Newmarket and DA champs, and from DA champs you have another champs, and from there you go to stadium to run, and that's just how we do it. I didn't know nothing about track. I just know I could do it, and I just do it, and that was just doing it for fun, and not going home to do chores. Yeah,
oh,
it allows me to stay home to
it
stay.
was your escape. But
Yeah.
let me ask you, when you got to St. Elizabeth Technical, did you know anything about the Olympic Games or any of the Olympians that were produced? Because St. Elizabeth Technical has produced some outstanding Olympians, including yourself. Did you know about any of them while you were there in your early days?
No, to be honest, no. But when I was there, my coach, Eldemire Smith, he was like, "Oh, you could be good like Bridget Foster Hill." I'm like, "Who the hell is Bridget Foster Hill? They could good like Merlin Artie and those people. Those people are people who come here and do good and run track." I'm like, "Okay." I wasn't even doing it fun. I was doing it for fun and not getting just doing it.
Wow.
I
I
didn't
mean,
take it serious at all in high school. Never.
never in high school, even though at champs, but you did not do badly at champs because you
No.
had podium finishes
Yeah.
at champs.
Yeah. I would just do it because, as I said, I just do it because I don't want to go home.
Running away from the chores.
It's not that. It's just like out with your friends, and then at the time we had track friends that we were close to, and it just gave us that community feeling and that loving environment that I wanted. So it was just like I just do it just for fun at the time. I didn't even take it serious until I was like at UTech, really, kind of, sort of.
UTech, big up all UTech nights in the building, UTech nights. But let us talk about fast forward to UTech, where your story is very strange because I was reading about how you got to UTech. Was UTech your first choice?
No,
No, I know,
I
right?
had scholarship to come abroad from a whole lot of other
I
colleges,
I know.
and then I think I was at my uncle at the time in Savlamar, and then I think Paul and Coach Francis called me. I was like, I needed to come to UTech. I really needed to come. I was debating whether I should go or not, and he said to me, and I think Paul, our friend, said to me that if you come, you're gonna be good. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do this for 1 year. I don't care. I'm gonna do it for 1 year. If it doesn't work out, then I'll leave. But unfortunately, I got stuck there.
Of course, it worked out and it worked out indeed. But in your final year in high school, you finished in the top three in the 400 meter. And in the 200 meter, you just missed out on a medal. You came to the calling at UTech. What was the transition like? Now coming from out of Kingston into Kingston to a life in Kingston. What was that like for you? Leaving home with all your food and family and all of that. What was it like being in Kingston?
I know once I finished high school, I was gonna leave St. Elizabeth anyway. I don't care where I go because they were begging. My high school coach was begging me to come back to sixth form. Like, no, I'm leaving. And then I'm like, I'm gonna try Kingston. Going to UTech wasn't the best at first. It was in terms of other things that doesn't have nothing to do with track. But at first I was like, what the hell did I leave my house to come to this? But then after a while I got accustomed to it because I'm like, I'm not going back. So I'm here, gotta figure it out. So at that time I decided that I'm just gonna stay and just do whatever I have to do. And if it doesn't work out, then I leave.
But
And
I thought that you were comfortable with all the promises that were made.
it's in terms of the accommodation, we were comfortable. The promises were good, we were comfortable, but the accommodation wasn't that good at first compared to
Yeah.
where my house that I was coming from to live with a whole bag of people and yeah, it was different. It
How was that for you?
was
Room
track
in
house, but after track house was it you
fun.
get used to it. Track house was track house, and everybody who knows track house knows that track house is the best of the best. Old track house, not new track house, sorry. The old track house
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
best of
yeah.
the best, yeah.
I can just imagine. I used to be on that campus and I used to, try to find where the athletes are training and everything. So,
Yeah, we
yeah,
were right. The old track house was right beside Garvey Hall.
that's behind barn, right?
Yes, behind barn. Yeah, right. Yeah, behind barn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the best.
UTech is the place indeed. Um, you joined MVP just a little bit after you were actually training with UTech before you move over to MVP. I guess it's one in the same as people would say, but
Yeah, one is
how
one is the same thing. But I think
right.
if you're in school, then you're UTech, and if you're out
Mhm.
of school, then you're MVP.
Right.
Yeah.
How different was the environment? You were training as a collegiate athlete and then now you're training as a professional athlete. How different? Was there any difference?
Oh no, for MVP group, it's just everybody trained as professional. It wasn't any difference between, oh, I'm training you. The only difference is if you have intercall, then that's the only difference. But otherwise, everybody got the same training. They're both professional and athletes, collegiate athletes. Because I remember when I just started, I was 2000, whatever, 2004, 5.
2004,
I,
yeah.
I was training with Asafa them, literally, and they were professionals. So it was that like, there wasn't any difference. It was just one broad training and everybody do the same training. Everybody was in one camp.
At what point in your career while training at MVP did you discover that Bridget Foster Hilton was actually a past student of STEDS?
I had known that Bridget was a past student of STEM because of Mr. Smith. He talks about her every day. It must be his favorite athlete, to be honest. But I know, and once I got there, Bridget was my main source of everything. Everything, she made sure that I was okay until this day. She always make sure I'm okay. So she was always my ride or die from I get put my foot on UTech campus.
Awesome, awesome. That's what I love to hear. I love to hear that kind of thing. Athletes looking after each other. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. I'm in the building with world and Olympic silver medalist Shericka Williams out of St. Elizabeth, where she had all the food in the world and all the land. She's here.
All the good food.
All the good food, guys, in the land, and she's here. Welcome, Marlene Green. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, welcome, welcome. I hope that Shericka's family and friends, they are also watching and hanging out with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shericka, when you got to during high school, you did three tough events. You did the 100, you can do the 100, you can do the 2, you can do the 4, you did the 2-4 double. At what point did you decided that, you know something, I'm going to go with the 400?
Never.
Tell me about
Never
that. Tell me
decided.
that.
I just gotta make up my mind because I don't have a choice. I'm like, okay, gonna run the 400. Because even my first year at UTech, I wasn't training for the 400, none at all. I was doing sprint program all the way up until trials. But in that time, as in MVP, I got as a sprinter, you have to run a few 400 building up to your training. So I think Frana had given me three 400, one at Jamaica. No, it was not Jamaica first, it was Kurt Vine first. I run very slow. And then he said, you're gonna give you another one. I went to Jamaica and I run 53 something on the grass.
So you were deliberate. You didn't want to
I
run.
wasn't deliberate, I just was running for running sake. And then I went to Stadium East, and there was a track meet at Stadium, and I ran the same time I ran on the grass on the Chevron, and he was pissed. And then he was like, okay. Then for trials, he was like, okay. He was
What
like,
year was this? 2004 or 5?
2004, 5, going into 2005 World Championship trials. So at the week when we were doing the entry for the trials, he said just put 1, 2, 4, and I'll tell you what you're gonna run the week before trials. I'm like,
Wow.
so the week before trials, I'm like, okay, you're gonna run the 400, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I ran the 400 at PB. I ran 50.9, and I won trials that year. My only trials I ever won. So, and that's where it all begins and starts. And I stuck with the 400 ever since. So,
If Mr. Stephen Francis is watching, good night to you, sir. Because it's not the first I'm hearing that he's the type of coach he will say, this is an event that you're going to do and you're going to be good at it.
yeah,
And you're actually good at it.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I like to ask this question. Describe how you felt when you discovered that you were going to run for Jamaica the first time. You were on a national team and you were going to wear the colors and you were going away with this team. Just describe that feeling a little bit.
My first national team was my senior team, to be honest. I've never made a junior team. I've never made a junior team. So my first team was a senior team. I was very excited. It was very good to be, oh, I'm going to wear Jamaica colors. I'm going to be a national athlete. And I was like, okay, but now it's fun. It's not fun anymore. Now it's serious. Yeah.
So you had fun? You had fun at your first championship? What was it like, your first championship, especially when you touch the track for that first round? Nerves.
Yeah, it was nerve wracking. My first championship, it was cold. It was Helsinki, Finland in 2007, 5. It was cold. It was raining. It was cold. It wasn't the best championship, but it was good because I had a lot of friends that were there cheering me on. I met Kenya, I met Novlin, I met a whole lot of people who we are still friends up until this day. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity. But gosh, it was
It was
I only
fun.
made it to the semifinals anyways, and I was like, okay, I did not run as fast as I run at trials, which was bad. But it was my first experience, and I think I've learned from it going forward, which I'm grateful for.
What was coach reaction? I'm sure coach had a reaction.
No, he didn't really say nothing. It was just like, okay, go in the relay and just have fun and just do whatever. No, he doesn't. He doesn't call us down to if we don't perform good. To be honest, if there's something that we could have done differently, then he would be serious about it. But otherwise, no.
Awesome, awesome. Marlene Green is saying, thanks for representing the black, green, and gold. You made us proud. Indeed, 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 you did. Let us look at some of your
Mhm.
achievements, because I don't know if you've paid attention to your achievements line by line like we fans do. Damian Maxwell is saying, greetings everyone, guys. I'm going to tell you a little story about Damian. Damian is on in the comment section, and Shericka, last night I was here doing some work, and Damien sent me a message 2 minutes after 8 and said, HP, what happened to Shericka's interview tonight? And I said to him, I said, Damien, it's actually Wednesday night. So he was excited about. So welcome, Damien. Welcome, welcome. Let us look at some of your achievements, Shericka. The Olympic Games, 2008 silver medalist at the Olympic Games in the 400 meters. You also won a silver medal in the 4 by 400 meter relays. You went back 2012 and you repeat in the relay, winning a silver medal. World Championship 2005, a silver medal. 2007, a silver medal. 2009, two silver medals. 2011, another silver medal. Girl, your cabinet's supposed to stay well. Commonwealth gold medal 2014. Other accomplishments, 2007, you ran a national record in the 4 by 400 meter relay, 3 minutes 19.73 seconds. 2009, your personal best of 49.32.
3-2, I don't know.
49.32 indeed is your personal best in the 400 meters. You also have guys, Shericka Williams, who is a quarter miler. She has a personal best in the 100 meters of 11.34. Girl, you could have made the team, you know.
I ran that like in February at Gibson Relays, so it wasn't even that.
So can you imagine if
Tough.
you can you imagine 11.34 and in the
If it
200?
was in a really regular season, I think I would have run much
Oh
faster.
yes, indeed you would have, because this is 2007.
Yeah, and I did
And
400 after that.
yeah, and then in 2006 now you ran a personal best in the 200 meters of 22.55 there in the 200 meters. But Shericka, this is indeed a legacy. Your legacy, I don't know if you pay a lot of attention to your legacy, your contribution. You have made a great contribution to Jamaica track and field legacy. So personally, I salute you. Did you see any of this coming though before you even got to the University of Technology? Did you dream that this is where you would have finished?
No, not at all.
Never think.
Never in a million years. I was like literally calling training when I was supposed to go train. I remember one time Mr. Smith come and pick us up from my house to come and train. It was holiday time or whatever. And literally
Wow.
go to train and did not do nothing. And he was so pissed. He just left us there. I was like, I don't care. You all know I'm serious. And yeah, I literally skull training a lot when I was in high school. So yeah.
Can you imagine if you were training more? But we're going to go back to that. But the lady from, it's not Black River, right? Black River is in the community that you're from?
No,
No?
Black River is a parish of St. Elizabeth. It's close by. I'm closer to New Market.
Okay.
It's in between Middle Quarters and New Market. There's a little
Okay.
community right there.
Okay. Looking back at 2008, you did some, a lot of people discovered you 2008. I actually discovered you, I think it was 2007. I think it was. You were one of the Jamaicans that did, I mean, as one commentator said, the Jamaicans were on fire in the bird's nest. I don't know if you remember that statement, but you won a silver medal um, in Beijing in the bird's nest. In an interview after that, you said, but before we even go to your interview, you were running as, I think, Sanya Richards. They were hyping up Sanya Richards as the
She was a
favorite.
favorite. Yeah, she was a favorite because she won everything going into
Yes,
every championship. She was unbeaten all year.
right.
So
She
she
was a
was good.
favorite
I
going
came
in.
second or third to her at every track meet.
But in Beijing, you turn the tables. Christina Origo won the gold, you the silver medal, and of course Sanya. But you actually came from behind. When you line up in that race, Shericka, take us through that race 2008 in Beijing. When you got to that final and you line up in that race, what was going through your mind?
2008 was a whole different story. Going into that Olympics was crazy. Between Joey and MVP was a whole story going on
Oh,
behind it.
yes.
And then it was a kind of, so for the championship, coach and I was on speaking terms. So going into my rounds, I was literally on my own, and I said to myself that I cried literally when I was in my room. I cried at night, and like, and then I was like, hey, Fred is not gonna stop me. Not because he's not talking to me or doing nothing for me. He's not gonna stop me from
You
achieving.
care to share why he wasn't talking to you? You weren't listening to, you weren't following the instructions.
Oh no! I have nothing to be like that. So while we were at in our training camp in Italy, so at the time the JOA, they wanted us to come to their mandatory training camp
Mm-hmm.
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Frano had other athletes that he had to train from different countries that could not come to that specific training camp. So there was a meeting that he calls, and it was like the message was, if you guys did not come to the training camp, then you're gonna be off the team. So once we were at the airport, and he said to us, we were on the meet, and he said, anybody who wants to go straight to the training camp can go straight to the training camp. I don't care. And then anybody who wants to come with him to Tokyo to his training camp can come with him to his training camp. So a few of us decided that we were going to go to
The mandatory
the
camp.
mandatory training camp. And for that, and then once we reached Beijing, I think the ambassador and a whole lot of people was like, you guys got to come and whatever. So everybody eventually had to go to the training camp. So at that point, I went to training the next morning. Paul, his brother was there. Paul was like, oh, Freddie does send a program for you. This was like 2.5 weeks before Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was literally like 2.5 weeks before Olympics. So it wasn't just me alone. It was a few of us that did not get any program at the time. At the time, I think Melin was on the say she was gonna go with him. So at the time he had sent program for Melin, So Millen and I do 400. She don't do the hurdles and the 400s. Millen was like, why? Whatever I'm doing over the hurdles, come and do with me on the flat. So that's what I did for the whole training
Wow.
camp. And then after that, going into after I think once I reached the opening ceremony of that Olympics, I was like, friend, not gonna stop me here. I'm done crying. I'm done doing whatever I was doing. I'm done psycho being crazy. I am going to prove to him that I can do this. And that Olympic opening ceremony had really opened my eyes as to say, oh God, this is great. You're here for a reason. And that's when I go out there. So going into my rounds, not taken away from the point, but going to my rounds, my first round, I run my rounds perfectly fine. My second round, I think I won my semi, I don't remember. And then I know everything. I've been to 2 championship before that, so I know everything to do before a championship. I know what am I supposed to do. I know what am I supposed to do, my nighttime routine. I know everything. I don't need Frano to tell me what am I supposed to do. I know everything to do. So I was there. I think we had a day between the semi and the finals, because I think back then we had a day rest.
Mm-hmm.
So during my day rest, I know I was doing my visualization, I was doing my affirmations and stuff like that. I see myself winning that race a million times. I literally see myself winning the race. So the day of the finals, now, what happened? I was sidetracked from my race that I had planned in my head. So that day, friend of called me, I was like, Why come here? Warm up everything, finish warm up, ready to go in the car room. I was like, Why come here? And what he said to me was correct, but I did not do what he said. So he said,
You rebel.
no. It just caught me off guard. What he said to me was that Sanya have never draw a lane in front of you. She always stay behind you. Knowing that she's gonna go out hard and she's gonna bust, don't follow her, because I was directly behind her. He was like, don't follow her. Well, the don't follow her that he gave me, I literally did not follow her. None at all. So that's where I was like, so coming out the turn, I was like, why am I in last position? So that's where I'm like, no, sir, this is not me. And I just start running. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, so it kind of threw me off at that point, because that's not the race plan I had in my head the night before, the day of, the morning
What
of.
was the race plan you had in your head?
My race plan was just to go out, keep the stagger until I reach the 150 and just run off like I normally do at every track meet. Because I said to myself, the least I can come in that race is third based on performance, and everybody who I have raced with that previous year and know the type of shape that I am in going into that final. The only person who was in that race I did not race all year was Christine, and she was a defending champion from the previous year. So she's a champion. You cannot count her out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, even if Sanya wins, Christine come second, and the least I can come is third, give or take. But in my mind, I had it to come first. And then after Shelly and everybody win and get their medal, I was like, okay. Shelly came and she was like, because I room with Shelly that year, and she was like, why is your time not to go there and go win? I had it to win, but it was, I guess it was just for me to come second, so I can't complain anyways. I still get
Wow.
it, which I'm
But
grateful.
let me tell you, second or first or third, you made us proud. When we were back home watching on TV, I mean, people were just cheering for you. Go, Shericka. I mean, it's like we were in the stands, and we were just cheering you on. But in your post interview, you did say that you did not listen to what your coach said. You said
Yeah,
that in your interview.
yeah. He said just track her. I did not move. I literally come off the turn dead
I
last,
know you were
which was
behind.
which was crazy. I was like, why am I not moving? I'm like, am I that slow? Was my feet dead or something? But I wasn't even. I would just never get going for some reason.
Wow, you were motoring from behind, and I
Because
mean,
I know
I think you were maybe one of the smallest in that field.
I'm always the smallest on the track, always.
Amazing, 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 amazing what you have done. And as Melissa Boyd is saying, proud of you and all your accomplishments, Shericka. Melissa is also saying, my step's sister.
Yeah, we went to school where she was in my class in high school.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. There is another comment. Let me just see if I can jump on it before we go further. Beauty in all things is saying, miss you on the track, Shericka. Made us proud. Thank you. Indeed, she has. Thank you very much for that, lovely. Thank you very much. Indeed, indeed, Shericka, you are a gem. You are a no, seriously, girl, you are a gem. You have made us proud as a country, and that's what we do over here. We celebrate you guys. But it's not just Beijing. You went to Berlin a year after and you repeated, relegating Sanya again.
No, she won.
No, it was Christine who won.
No, Shania won.
Sanya
Berlin.
won 2009.
Yeah, she won.
You sure?
Yes,
You
yes.
sure, Sharika?
Yeah, Sanya won. I came. No, Christine came like
Chris-
fifth or sixth. Yes, yeah.
Sanya won in 2012.
She won the
Sanya,
Olympics.
she won 2009 also?
Yeah,
You sure?
yeah.
Well,
It
if
was
you
her,
said it, well, okay, I
yeah, it was her
apologize.
first. It was her first. Yeah.
I thought that London was her first. Okay. But you came back in 2009 nonetheless, and you repeat your silver medal. Was there any instructions going into that race again? I want to hear what the instructions were. Was coach talking to you at that time?
No, man, we were good. The problem with that now is that the same thing happened. So it was a J3A. So now they were like, if you don't come to our training camp, then they're going to take you off the team.
I remember Berlin. I remember 2009. You guys
So we
were
went to
terrible.
Berlin and they did take us off the team because we
I
decided to
know.
stay with Canada. They did take us off the team. They
I
did
know.
take us off the team. They took off the whole MVP group of the
I
team.
know. I remember. I was following the news. I remember, and it was the
I
IAAF
thought the
president.
president had to step in and had a meeting with us and J3 at the time and say, "Yo, these people have to run because they're all
Medalist.
medalists from from the Olympics." I was like, they had to run. But aside from that, knowing that J3 just didn't want us to run, I don't know for what reason because they didn't come to their training camps.
Yeah, the
But
mandatory. The
I don't,
mandatory.
I don't. The thing about the training camps, I don't believe it is good for the athletes. It might be good for relay practice, but 90% of the athletes that goes to this training camp, they don't have a coach to come with them. And this is 2 weeks before a championship when the athletes should be fine tuning their preparation with their personal coach. They're gonna have them take them away from their personal coach, going to some people that doesn't know nothing about them. It just don't make sense. We were lucky as a group with MVP. We had coach with us everywhere we go. Not everybody had that
True.
privilege
True.
to be there, to have their coach with them at all times. And for relay, I understand if you want it for the relay, but 2 weeks before a championship to practice a relay doesn't make sense either.
Is the relay important to you? Do you see the relay as important?
Of course, I get lots of relay medals, and there
I
are a lot.
know.
They count towards my medal count. Relays are important, but the problem that Jamaican have, and even up to this day, is that we don't practice relay. You go out there even for the relays, we still can't even pass a button properly. When you're in high school, you do this every time in training daily. It's hard for us to do it as professional because everybody is from different camps. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, just before a world championship or Olympics, 2 weeks before, it's just not feasible. At least
But
do like what the US or the Great Britain or some people do. Have a 2 week training camp in April, in May, where people you have a relay pool and people go together and they train. If you make the team, then you're part of that pool and you're picked from there. Just like
but the coaches, Sharika, the same coaches are going to say my athletes are not available for a relay camp. So how do we balance? How do we find that balance? Because one of our biggest problem is normally, four of our medals at any championships normally come from the relay. 4x1 for men and women, 4x4 for men and women. At the last Olympic Games, it is the first in maybe about 40 years or
we have
so that we have not come home with not even one relay medal.
I think the problem is, does these athletes really value relay medals anymore?
But it is a big, but all right,
I
I'll let
think
you.
if they value it enough for them,
Mhm.
they will say, I'll make myself available. Say, coach, as much as you give me the same program, I'll do the same program. That I won't break my training for that. Give me the program, what I need to do, and I'll go to make sure that our relay team is in order. But I mean, maybe they don't value relay medal as we used to back in the days, which is okay.
But you know something, Shericka, when I look at it, a relay, our relay over the years winning medal has given 30 people to win a medal. At least 30 people win medals in all four relays. Six fours, I guess we can say 6, 5, 30.
Yeah.
So at least 30 people can come home with a medal
Yeah.
won in the relay. And when you look at the individual, in an individual race, only three
Three
people
person.
can win a medal. And if you look at it, it might be one or two from Jamaica. Two people in an individual event. In the
Event.
100 meters,
Out of so many people that's competing.
out of how many people?
Yeah.
But when you can give, when 30 people can win a medal from four races, and a lot of our athletes right now can count a global medal because of the relay.
Relays, exactly. There are a lot of medals people have because of, even if I get one Olympic medal because of the relays, you get an Olympic medal that can do so much for you. That can do. I remember when I was in Australia, 2006 for the Commonwealth Games, I was the only person who came back without a medal because we dropped our button in the 4x4. And that wasn't a good feeling. I'm like, I have to come home at least with a 4x4 medal. I don't care. I want that medal.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And you have run on some super team with people like Navleen, Rosemary White, the whole works. You
Yeah.
know, you have done outstanding. But I don't know. I think we need to take the relay a little bit more seriously because last year we were chasing one relay time. This year we're chasing three.
Yeah. Not good. But
No.
I guess with the J3, JOA, and the coaches, they will come together and find a solution. I hopefully.
Yeah.
I think because now it was different back then, because back then I think you qualify based on times or whatever from the
Hmm.
previous year, but now they're using the world relays as a qualifying event, which is whatever.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
I
Guys,
it's kind of, I don't know. But remember back then we went to the Royal Relays too. We had a strong team at Royal Relays because it was like
mhm,
everybody run
mhm.
the Royal Relays even back then too. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the relay, I love the relay, and it's not just liking the relay, but when you look at how many people from your team can come home with a medal because of the relay, six people on a relay team, if
Six
that
people, yeah.
relay team, if all of them run, if that team medal,
Even if you run
everybody
the
get a
heats,
medal,
you're
even if
guaranteed.
you run the heat.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, why are we treating the relay like a stepchild like that? But before we go any further, okay, so someone was just confirming that Sania's first Olympic gold was
20.
actually London, and she won in 2009. Thank you very much for that. And Marlene Green is saying you are definitely a gem. I totally agree. Welcome everyone. Remember to like, share, subscribe. But the lady of the hour, Shericka Williams, many would say that your breakout year or your breakout moment was Beijing Olympics, but I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why I disagree. 2005, you got to the semifinal of the World Championships in the 400. 2005, you won a silver medal in the 400 in the 4x4 relay. 2006, you went to the Commonwealth Games, finished fifth. 2006, you finished third at World Athletics final in the 400.
Okay. Yeah.
2006, you also won a gold medal with the World Relay at the World Cup final. 2007, you got to the semifinal again of the 400 meters and you got a silver medal in the relay. 2007 at the World Athletics final, you got sixth in the 400. How did these early days help to shape Shericka and get Shericka ready for Beijing?
Just follow the crowd, train hard. I wasn't the best trainer, but I trained, and our team we had at MVP were really motivating. We motivate each other to train hard to accomplish all our dreams. And we had people like Millie. She came back from Texas. She didn't train as hard as she would like to, but she was one of the ones that helped to motivate us. We had Khalees, we have Christine, we had a whole lot of people who was there. When you're tired, they come and like, come on, they can do the last one. That's what's important. And the support we had, it was great. So once you put in the work and you go out there, we race a lot back in the days. We used to race every week in, week out, running like 2-3 races per week. And for us, that was just building onto what you already been doing, not breaking your train, just going out there and train and race. And that helped us to know where you are every time you go in the race. So going into Beijing in the Olympics, it was easy because you know exactly where you are, how much people is ahead of you, and how to go out there and do what you have to do.
Well said. Well said. Before I go into my next question, all in the one, all in the game. Welcome, welcome. He's saying that to ask you what order would you run Nikisha Price, Deshane Oakley, Stacey and Williams, and Leah to try and break the 4x4 record.
Our
They
national record, I would want them to break our national record. Let us have something. We don't want to try.
Guys,
Wanna try.
she is a part of the national record, so she's not going to encourage them to break it. But
But
that's a
if
good
they want to try, I'll go with Dejanay first, to Stacy second, to what her name is third,
Nikisha
and then
Price.
No, Nikisha Anchor.
Okay.
Yeah,
So from Deshane to Stacy to Leah to Nikisha Price.
yeah.
Not bad, not a bad lineup.
But
Yep.
I put Stacy on the second because she can go out hard, and you just need somebody to go out hard and cut the stagger. I couldn't do that, so I could never run a second leg because I run the worst leg ever.
What
You need
what
somebody who can go out hard to just cut in and go, and she's the only one that can do that from that team.
Yeah, she does it very well. Another Tex girl herself
Yeah.
also. But let us go back to 2015 World Championship. What was your thoughts on that 4x4 that Jamaica won gold defeating the United States? That team of Christine Gay, oh my God, I call her Miss Starter. Christine to Shericka Jackson to Stacey and McPherson
To
to
Stephanie, yeah.
to to to
Lovely.
um to Navleen.
It
Your
was like
thoughts?
finally, at least somebody beat the US for the first time. They won everything. It's about time. We tried millions of times. We had teams to beat them, but we just never did. I think 2009 we had the best team to beat them. I think what happened 2009. I think Melanie should have been on that team. To be honest, she was fire at that time. I think she should have been on that team, but unfortunately they did not put her on it. So yeah.
And you see that is kind of one of the problems I have with our selectors. We don't look outside of the 100 meters for the 4x1. We don't look outside of the 400 for 4x4 legs. I've seen where America is running 800-meter people on 4x4. They're running hurdlers
Years, yeah.
on their 4x4, and this is why they seem to be so good at it, because they look at people's strength and they look where the talents are. Because if you look at even Alyssa Felix is not a 100-meter runner for the American team, but
She always run the second leg.
she has been a staple on the American 4x1 team all her career.
Yeah.
Now Gabby Thomas is becoming that person.
Yeah.
Sydney McLaughlin is now becoming a staple in the American 4x4 team.
Yeah.
So, what is your thoughts on us looking outside of the tradition events for really runner? I mean, to win the gold, we want to win some more goals.
I believe that if you have the team to go out there and we need to put the best four out there, but again, everybody want their athletes to be on a relay team for the if they're gonna win a medal, or to say my athlete was on this team for the medal or stuff. So it's kind of hard. And then Jamaica's system is that top six, and they pick from that, and that's it. So I guess maybe if people out who doesn't run the flat 100 or the flat 400, and they run a few hundreds or 400 within the season and run a fast time, then they may consider them. But I mean, I just don't know.
I think we need to open
Yeah.
the gate a little wider, because even when you look at teams like Botswana, South Africa, when you look at teams from Europe, they're mixing up their
Yeah,
sprinters.
teams are coming. Nobody's waiting for Jamaica anymore. Teams are building to win medals out there. People will not run. I see team they don't run anybody in the open event and just have a strong relay team going out there, because they're making their teams now so that they can win medals, and that's a part of their country to win medals. Yeah. So.
Indeed, 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 indeed. Because when you look at Ireland, when you look at Poland, when you look at so many of these countries, listen, South Africa qualified for 5 relays, all the relays,
All the relays, and
all
we
the
have
relays,
we have a mixed relay. We can't even qualify for a mixed relay. Like a mixed relay.
a
I
mixed
wish I had
relay.
mixed relay in my days. I will tell friend, I'm going to run the mixed relay. I'm going to run it. But he will say no, maybe.
I mean, it is. I mean, when you look
I
at
think it's fun.
Femke,
It looked fun. It looked fun.
yeah, when you look at Femke will run, Femke Ball from the Netherlands. She will run her 400-meter hurdles, and she will run on that mixed 4x4 team.
Yeah.
And we are still not able to be competitive in the mixed relay, where we have so many athletes.
Yeah. It is.
It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. But guys, if you're just joining, thank you very much. Shericka Williams, another of our track and field darling, is in the building. All in the game is saying 800-meter runner. Kemar Farkason is a very good 4x4 runner. That's true.
Yeah.
He
He
ran
run
it.
he run a few 4x4. He run.
Yes,
He's always available when there's selection for a team. He's
yes,
always
yeah.
available to go, and I really have come
A matter of fact, he helped his collegiate team to win, to
win. Yeah.
tie
Texas A.
for the collegiate championship. So, and he did it in high school, so he's another one that is. But we need to open the door a little bit as it relates to relay selection. But Shericka, we're going to go into another segment now. Switching allegiance. I'll let you take your water break. I, I will let you take your water break. I don't want you to choke or anything.
I have nothing to say.
Switching allegiance. But Shericka, this is not anything new. This
No,
has
it's
been
not.
happening from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, even in the 2000s, where a group of guys that switched and everything. It's been going on for a while. But let me ask you, when you decided to switch, what was the influence behind your decision?
It was no influence. I was at the end of my career. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this amount. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna retire anyway. Once my contract is up with Nike or whoever I had the time, was like, once my contract is up, I'm done running track. I'm like, okay, there's some extra money to go whatever I had. So it was like, it wasn't a decision. It was just like going out, getting some extra money to do nothing. Yeah.
Right. Because you would have done so much
Yeah,
for
it was
Jamaica.
at the end. It was at the end. It was like I was literally at the prime of my career. I would never do that when I was in my prime, because I was good at that time. It was like, and then at the time I was talking to someone, like, oh, girls, the extra money, just go get it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. The process wasn't completed though, for you to make that switch. Care to share?
So at the time, I think in 2015, while we're cousin or friend, she does have a lot of gadgets. So while I was at training, sometimes my body wasn't recovering the way I was supposed to be recovering from my workout. So I would like literally takes days off from work, from training. I would like, your body's not, because they have this machine that he puts on us and like your body's not recovering, there's something wrong. I was like taking it for nothing. I was like, maybe I'm just tired or something like that. So when I went, I was like, whatever. I was brushing it off because I wasn't thinking it was anything medical at the time. And I know at the time I had a really, because the way how my heart was beating at the time, I really, it was like I could have a heart attack at any moment. And at that time, you were in Jamaica, we don't take anything medical
Yeah.
too seriously because we're like,
We
what?
drink some tea and we're fine.
Yeah, once you're not in going to the hospital, then you're fine. So when I went to do my medical, my heart was literally pounding out of this world. We're like, what the hell is going on? And then so I was like, so they were like, something is wrong, you need to go and check it out. So when I went, I think I came back to Jamaica. No, I went back to Italy and I decided that I'm just gonna figure out what was going on with my heart at the time. And then it wasn't it was just crazy. Even until now I still have those heartbeats. But I think what happened, because when I went to end up in Florida. I think I was in Florida at the time, and then I was on the beach in the sun. I was literally shaking. I was cold in the sun. I literally had to put on a blanket on me. And I was like, I'm gonna do a full medical scan. And I did a full scan. My liver was literally inflamed to this. It was super big. So that
Wow.
was contributing to everything that I was going on. So I was in the hospital for like so long, almost died. And
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to
it
hear that.
was it was crazy, but I got over it and now I'm healthy. Not healthy to the point, but I still make sure that my liver is not bad. I still do my checkups all the time. My heart still pounds. Every now and then I can feel it moving a little weird sometimes, but I do check it up all the time and make sure nothing is going on too badly, but it's not as healthy as we'll hope it to be, but it's okay.
So this was going on while you were competing for Jamaica?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're a
but
miracle. You're a miracle baby.
yeah, it was going on. I still ran. Yeah, but it didn't they just don't take things serious, and then so that's what happens sometimes. So
Yeah. So was the did the process got too far for you to decide that you're going to continue competing for Jamaica, or you just decided to hang up your spike?
oh no, once I have a heart problem, I'm like, that's it. You can't go out there competing, you're gonna die. If you go on the track, you're gonna die in a day. So
But you did it while
yeah, but the time you didn't know. When you don't know and do something is
true,
different from
true,
when
true.
you know. So
Yeah.
once I know, plus I was like, I was at the end anyways. I was like, it was
You
whatever.
were like what, 32? You were
Yeah.
still young.
Yeah. Yeah. But for 400, that would be
Yeah.
considered old. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah. It would be a lot
it
on
would be a lot on
you.
the body. Yeah. And to be training with because we train at very fast, high, long pace, it was like crazy. Yeah.
Wow. Was there but as you said, you're healthy now, healthy enough, and
Healthy enough to move around and to be able. I haven't run in a long while. I need
do
to
you
start
still
running.
work out? You should. You should.
I
The
I
exercise
tried for 2 days with my friend and then she chickened out on me. So I'm like literally on my own. I don't like to go on my own. So I prefer if I do it with people.
with
I
people.
can do it on myself by
Oh,
myself. So
okay, okay, okay. When you decided to switch and when it was made public, did you get any harsh backlash or anything like that?
no, nobody
No?
cares. I don't know. Nobody really. I wasn't looking at it. We didn't have social media big
True.
like how it is right now, so it wasn't like that. So it wasn't anything. Nobody was gonna be making a big fuss over like how they're making a fuss from it now. So
But we know why there is a fuss now because these are top athletes, medalists,
yeah, they're medalists.
potential medalists and stuff.
They're new medalists. They're young. They're like
Yeah,
in their 20s. So
they're the future. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're the future of track. So we
Hmm.
understand where they they're coming from, but it is what it is.
Yeah. As an athlete who have represented the country, you have done brilliantly well, outstanding for the country. You carry the flag with pride and all of those things. How do you think as a country we should honor you guys back home? How would you want us to honor you guys?
It's
What
hard. The Jamaican population athletes is a lot. So how are you going to do it in the first place? Who do you choose? That's
do we have to choose? Can't we set up a system that would work for everybody? Everybody gets something?
Yes, we can, but how long can we sustain it for? How long? Maybe a year? Olympics every 4 years, so people need funding for at least 4 years up to the Olympics. And if they make that Olympic team, then they're going to need the funding again for another 4 years for the next Olympics. So it's about how do we fund it? The system can be put in place, but how do we fund it? That's the biggest problem. Jamaica, I don't know, the government or whatever their resources are, they might have to step in. I know J3 and Jerry, I don't know how they set up their thing either. So it's like,
Yeah, I think we can set up like a tier system, and everybody won't get, just like how you have a company, you work with a company, you have the CEO get what, you have marketing people get what, you have the clerks. So everybody is not on the same pay grade and stuff. But in during your time of competing, what other support? I know that you had close to a perfect system because I know that MVP is one of the most organized system that we have in Jamaica. But if you were to have any other resources to help with your career throughout that time, what else would have helped to even you know push you to go further, or nothing was lacking?
nothing was lacking because at when I just reached MVP, my mom, she supported me with Bridget from everybody. So the support I had was good.
No food from St. Elizabeth I come at home.
We had food coming up, plus trying to make sure we had food all the time. So it was like literally we weren't lacking anything in MVP. For others, I don't know. But for us in MVP, everything was provided for us. And the point is, Fernand wasn't the type of person who's gonna say, oh, you have to pay me to coach you. No, wasn't anything like that. So the system was there. He maintain the system where at least come in, he take care of them for free. We don't have to pay him back or anything. Once you start running, then that's when he's like, okay, now it's time to take. Once you start performing at top
Mhm,
level, not because
mhm,
you're gonna run
mhm.
to a race on the circuit, you're like, oh, you make $500, I'm gonna take $10 out of it, because no, he's not gonna do that. So the system that we have in MVP was very well put together and well kept. So we had everything for our comfort. So we're
Woohoo! I love that. I love
we
that.
were
I
like,
love
and
that.
I hope that it remains the same.
Yeah. I
I
love
don't know if it's
when
still the same right now, but back then I was kind of sort of the foundation in MVP when it just started, so it was kind of the new ones. I don't know what the system is like now, since everybody is a different type of environment, different type of
a different generation.
out there. So I don't know what the system is like now.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you would say you faced throughout your career, even though it doesn't sound to me like you had any challenges, but in everything we know that there are challenges. What were some of the biggest challenges and how were you able to overcome?
I think my biggest challenge was eating. I literally did not eat a lot. I was very bad at eating. That was my biggest issue I had. I remember one time I think we were in Prefontaine, and I think I came like fifth. And friend was like, "Why did you came fifth? You're supposed to at least come third or win that race." I was like, "I don't know." Then it was, I think we're in the airport going to Oslo. And German and Michael was like, German goes, Mason, so rest in peace. And it was like,
Yes.
Frona, she doesn't eat when she go trap me. She doesn't eat bread and butter for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he went off on me because he knows I don't eat. And he was like, you have to eat. If you don't eat, I'm not going to take you anywhere.
Yes. You need the energy.
And he was literally telling me in the airport. I literally cried in the airport. I was literally crying in the airport. It was like, if you don't eat, I'm going to leave you in Jamaica. You're not going to follow me anywhere. I was like, okay, if you're not going to eat, at least bring ketchup. I'm like, front of the food doesn't taste good. It's not like, they were like, yeah, it's not Jamaica. It's different. And he was like, okay.
Bring the ketchup.
Bring ketchup and put it on everything. So now I go to Europe, the chicken is white. You gotta put ketchup on it because I have no seasoning. And I'm not used to that. I'm used from St. Elizabeth. My grandmother cook good food.
But I don't understand. You're from St. Elizabeth. So how you don't eat plenty? Them nice yam.
No, I'm used to Jamaican food. I'm not used to pasta and those fancy food. I'm used to yam, banana dumpling, and rice and peas and chicken. I don't eat pork. I don't eat steak. I don't eat all of that thing. So chicken and fish everywhere I go. So if that's not available, I'm not gonna eat.
You're not going to eat, yeah. I remember, and as you say that, I remember the Beijing Olympic Games. There was a little something, we get in news out of Beijing that you guys weren't enjoying the food, and I think they said Usain Bolt, he was mostly eating, I think nuggets or something like that. I don't remember, but I know that you guys had a problem with food there.
The food in the village was okay. We had a variety of other food. You can have Japanese, Chinese, African, American food that he can eat from. But the problem is, as a Jamaican, not know the little secret that we had going on in the behind the scene kitchen.
So you guys had your own kitchen?
No, we didn't have our own kitchen, but we had a chef that was Jamaican that was working in the kitchen. So he cooked a few Jamaican food for us, like curry chicken, but it was first come, first serve. And then once people know that it's ready, I'm always at the front of the line, like, food done yet? They said, come. Yeah, so we had our little thing going on around the back in the kitchen. So we were
awesome. One thing with us Jamaicans, we know how to survive. Let us welcome Grace Jackson. Grace Jackson is saying, you and I, Shericka. So she's agreeing with you that when she goes to meet, she don't eat and stuff. Yeah, Grace Jackson, welcome. What do you know about? Wait, let me ask you a question. Now that Grace Jackson, Olympian, Jamaican Olympian, which Olympic Games did Grace Jackson won a silver medal, and which event it was?
It's either 4 or 200. I know that for sure. Ask me what year. I have no idea. Sorry, Grace. I love you, but I don't even know.
It was actually the
Barcelona.
It was actually the 200 meters, 1988.
Yeah, me just buy me 3-year-old.
Welcome, Grace Jackson, another Olympian in the building. Roseanne Harvey is here. She's saying, one Shericka Williams, never two. God bless you always. Indeed, Jeremy Lee is here. And Donovan Wilson is saying, proud of you, Shericka. Melissa Boyd is saying, ketchup makes everything taste better. Why are you used to good food? I totally agree with you, Melissa. It's hard when you go to other countries.
Yeah,
and the food is not the same. But that was smart though. Walk with your ketchup.
Everywhere I go, I have a bottle of ketchup with me. I don't eat
your Grace tomato ketchup.
Grace all the time, always, every day.
Indeed. Grace all the way. Share a defining moment when you competed for Jamaica that you will always remember. That moment that every time you go back to your career, you went back to that moment.
I think 2009.
Not 8?
8, yes, but I think I ran a stupid race, so I don't say it was defining. I think 2009, I think that was one of the best races I've ever ran in terms of distribution. My first 200 was perfect. Everything was perfect. I think I could have run the third 100 a little bit better or faster, but then I still ran fast enough. I was hoping to break the national record at that championship because I was in great shape. I remember a friend that gave us 300 time trial, 300 back to back 20 minutes run race, and I ran 34 in both 20 minutes rest back to back. So I know I was in great shape that year. I should have run 48. But it is what it is. But I think that was one of the better races and one of the great moments of my career.
Awesome, awesome. Because you came, the thing is that you came very, very close to Lorraine Fenton's record, which I think is 49.30,
Yeah, at the
and you are 49.32. So you came very, 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 very close. Indeed. Still, I think the next time to that is Shericka Jackson, 49.4. So
yeah, and then Nikisha break it last year.
oh yes, yes. Nikisha broke it last year. Right, right. Yeah. Indeed, yes. So Nikisha is the leader, and
Then Lorraine, then
yeah,
I,
yeah,
then I think, yeah, I think Sharika.
yeah. Sharika is next in line, but you gave up the sport, of course, for obvious reason. What is life like after the lanes? After the lanes on the track, what is life like for you now? Where is Sharika these days? I saw that you were at the national championship a few weekends ago. Your thoughts on that?
It was great. Enjoy going back to watch and support all the athletes competing and trying to make a team, which was good. It was a good experience. Haven't been in stadium for so long, so I'm trying to be more involved and putting myself out there back. But life has been great. I'm here trying to figure out what I want to do for myself personally. I have a lot of things in the making, so hopefully you'll all hear about them in the by the end of the year, going into next year.
You're not going to share some with us? I think someone had put a question here to ask you if you would go into coaching or training. I think I missed it, but I think I saw a message to ask you, and I'm going to ask you the question. Would you have you thought about coaching, going into coaching?
No, I don't
No?
think I can coach. I don't know. I've never thought about it or have the idea. People say, "Oh my God, if I do it, you'll be good at it." I don't know, but I never thought about it. Would I want to go in it? No.
Or maybe because you give your coach too much trouble, you don't want your karma.
I know I did. I wasn't one of the troublemakers.
Oh,
So
you were?
depends on the day of the type of training I had the day and what I feel like doing that day. Then yes, but most times, front just say leave my training and don't come back for the day. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
How did you prepare yourself mentally for a major championship? And before you answer that, Grace Jackson is saying congrats on a great career.
Thank you, Grace. How do I prepare myself mentally for a championship? So going into the championship, just stay focused. Nothing changes. It's just for me, I say to myself, is just the name change. Nothing changes. The same person you race with week in, week out is the same, maybe just the environment of the different things are different from a normal track meet. But for me, it just say nothing changes the name. And if you can perform with the same person week in, week out and you beat them, then nothing changes. I don't think about it as, oh, I'm in the for the Olympics. I'm like, oh, I just happy I made it to the finals. Although I
Did
know
you
it was
ever worry about the lane that you get?
no, I run in every lane. No, it's the same 400. For no says the same 400, just go there and run. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
but I mean, just prepare. You know, you have to just trust your training. And if you trust your training enough, it will take you across the line.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Do you worry now that you've retired? I've heard athletes saying, as you just said, that they're trying to figure out what is their next move. They don't know what to do after track. All they know is track. Do you have that struggle?
At first, yes, but I think I'm in a position right now where I am okay with where I am and what I'm doing. I am in school and I am trying to do a lot more things on the side and stuff like that. So for now, I am getting to where I want to be and I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Awesome, awesome. Donia Ray Lee is saying, welcome, welcome. Is saying, it's so good to see you, Sharika. I have always wondered where you were. I wish you all the best of health wise. One love, sister. I totally agree with you,
Thank
Donia Ray Lee. I hope I pronounce it properly. But Sharika, for years I've been wondering where you
I'm
were.
always there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Listen,
I guess if you don't follow me, then
listen,
you don't know. But I post every now and then.
listen.
Mostly on my birthday. I post every birthday. So if you want.
Listen, when I sent you that message on Instagram, I think I sent you that message over
Last
here.
year. Yes, over
There,
here.
there you go. And I'm like, and I will ask people because I ask people who are athletes every day, hey, where's Shericka? How come we're not seeing Shericka and stuff? And some people would say from she switched to Bahrain, we haven't seen her. Not realizing that you were having your struggles and stuff. So I totally agree that we pine over you guys. You know that we pine over you guys. We ask about you guys. We want to know that you guys are okay. But let me ask you, what lessons have you learned? And know that the sport has changed. How has it changed your life?
The sports have changed my life in various ways. It takes me from living a normal life to living a life of luxury. And it does allows me to see the world. If it wasn't for sports or for track, I would not know every continent except for maybe Africa. I've never been, but I'm gonna go sometime maybe in 2 years' time.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, so it have opened my eyes to a lot of things that I've never expect it to. So I am very grateful for sports, to be honest. And I think everybody should strive to just be the best and just try to go out there and just have fun and just see the world. It's there for them.
Funny you say that because my next question to you is what advice would you give to the next generation of athletes, those in the wings and those who are now trying to move from the junior level into the senior ranks? What advice would you give them?
Know what you want, go for it, and sometimes you're in a situation where you think loyalty is important, but you have to do what is best for you. If you're in an environment and that is not working for you, you can always change. You can always figure out what's next, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for your coach, for your family, for your friends. This is about you and your legacy and what you have in store to do. So I for them that is coming up is totally different from back then when we were running. It's totally different game changer. People are running way faster, people are making way more money. So, and I think these athletes, they're making way more money than we did in back in our days. So as for them, what they have to do now is they don't race as much as we do. So people don't really see them racing like how they used to see us racing every day and in and out. So for them, they have to just whatever money or whatever accomplishment that they get, just embrace it, work towards their goals, and invest, save, and make sure they have something to fall back on once track is over. Because once track is over, it is over.
No
It is
coming back.
no coming back. It is over. It's
Yes,
not like a
indeed.
9 to 5. You can just go get make a 9 to 5. You will never make that amount of money in a 9 to 5.
Good advice. Grace Jackson is saying she was a much better than I could ever be. I was always scared of the 400. Can you imagine Grace Jackson is saying she was scared of the 400 meters? Wow. Grace is saying she was scared of the 400. But Shericka, if you were to coach an upcoming athlete, a young upcoming athlete, which athlete would it be? If you are to choose a Jamaican young athlete or even a current athlete to coach,
400, what event?
any event at all, which athlete would you coach? Choose the athlete based on who they are instead of the event that they're doing, if you want to do it that way.
I don't really know them personally. For me to coach an athlete, they have to be able to take instruction well. And they have to be motivated to train hard because it's not easy. You can train one day and go home and decide that you're not going to train tomorrow. So I don't know these athletes. So I really don't know who I would say I would be motivated to train. But if not, I'll go for my stats girl, Stacy.
Stacey, okay, good pick, good pick. Because I think Stacey works hard.
I
She
think she
seems,
works hard and she looks
yeah,
like she takes instruction well.
yeah, she seems very disciplined
And
too.
she seems disciplined, yes.
Yeah. Good pick. Good pick. We are going to play a little game now. With that said, Shericka and I are going to play a little game. So we're going to get to know a little bit more about Shericka before we go. All right, this is a little quiz. True or false? You are 5 feet 6 inches tall.
5. False.
That's false, but that's what I saw
I'm
online.
5'5" and 3/4.
It says 5'6", so I don't know. They trick me. That is why I tell you that
Five
sometimes
five
it,
and 3/4. I'm not that 6 yet. I wish I was 6, but nah.
yeah. Google says 5 feet. I think your profile said 5'6", but I guess they rounded up.
I
They
guess
give
the
you a
word.
little
What
bit.
is even 5? It's 3/4, so it's gonna be 5'5".
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your zodiac sign, true or false? Your zodiac sign is Virgo.
True.
Wow, got that one right. You
Okay.
are the third fastest Jamaican woman over 400 meters with 49.32. I think we declared that earlier, so that's a true.
That's true. Yeah.
Your favorite lane is lane 5. True or false?
True.
You actually love lane 5.
Lane 5. Yeah.
You know that was a guess though. I guess, yeah. I said let me put lane 5 for
I
her.
always run out of lane 5. That's probably
Awesome.
the time. Yeah.
Awesome. You had offers to go overseas to college before going to UTech. True or false?
True.
Another true or false. You did not run fast before 2008 because you were afraid of how to distribute the 400 meters. True or false?
True.
Tell me about that story. Tell me why.
It's just like the 400 is just so hard. It's not easy. People think it's easy. It's not easy. And you never get it right. No matter how hard you try, there's never a perfect race because there's something that's going to be like off no matter what. So, yeah. And it was the lactic after that event, after that race is like, yeah. The thing about it, if you run fast or slow, you're going to feel the lactic. So I basically think it's better to run fast. So.
All right. The
I
next
just
one
never
is,
had the 400. I never love it, but
can you imagine
it
people?
chose me. I did not choose it.
This woman, she has done outstandingly well in the 400 meters, and she's saying she doesn't like the 400. It reminds me of Melaine Walker, who said she didn't like the 400-meter hurdles. But Shericka, your weakness is the first part of your race because you do not go out hard enough. True or false?
True.
Is there a reason why you don't go out hard enough? Is it that you think that your stamina can?
I think I'm going out hard, but then when I look back, it's like, what are you doing? So how the time you feel your body moving, and you think you're going fast, and like you're not even moving. So I think, yeah, as I said, 2009 was one of the best race I've run. I think I run the first 223.7, which was perfect. It could be around 23.5. I think I should go in 23.5, but that was okay. So I think that was one of the best distribution of my first 200 ever. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Wow. Melissa Boyd finds the 3/4 very funny. Me too, Melissa. The 3/4.
I'm taking my 3/4, Melissa.
Look here, she's
Taking
five
my
six
three
people.
quarters.
Okay, Shericka, you're going to choose one now. Morning or evening training?
Morning.
Mor-
Yeah,
wow,
I'm a morning person. Once I'm up, I'm up. I'm ready to go. I don't do well in the afternoons.
wow.
Yeah,
Water or electrolytes?
electrolytes.
Man, why these athletes, they don't like water. They do not like water. Warm up stretches or ice bath?
Warm up stretches. I'm allergic to ice.
Oh wow, I've never heard that one before. You see, this is why I love talking to you guys, because you learn so much about you guys. Individual race or relay?
Both.
No man, you have to pick one, Shericka.
I'll choose individual over
Over
relays.
the relays, okay. Fast start or strong finish?
Strong finish.
Yep, that's you for sure. That's you for sure. Pre-race nerves or post-race celebrations?
Pre-race nerves.
Oh, you prefer that, okay. Coach pep talk or your playlist?
My playlist. I don't like when people talk to me before my race.
You don't like when your coach
Wow.
talk? You don't like when coach?
Talk to me 2 days before the night before, not 10 minutes before I go on the track.
But some
I
people,
already have my race plan in my head. I do my. You think about it is that you do a visualization of your race when you're in your
Yeah.
bed lying down. You have to see yourself running that race a specific way, and then somebody 10 minutes before the race gonna tell you to change what you already have in your head. That just throw you off. So yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Really and truly, I get what you're saying. Verna Comrie is saying, glad to see Shericka. Been wondering. Oh my gosh. You see how many people been
I'm
pining?
gonna be available a lot more, hopefully.
Yes, yes, please. People, oh God, look here. We love you guys, you know. You guys brought glory to us when we're in halfway tree cheering or we're in our home or our offices. Look here, man. We need to see you guys. Grace Jackson is saying electrolytes give you more. I think I discovered that
Yeah.
recently that electrolytes really give athletes more than water. Yet they say water is the best thing ever. Sneakers or slippers or Crocs. Maybe Crocs wasn't around during your
I
time. Maybe it wasn't so common.
it was a run. I don't own a Crocs. I hate Crocs. I just think it's ugly. I literally don't hate it. I don't think there's nothing to it. It's not flattering or nothing. Summer sneakers, girl, depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing. But depends on the style. Sandals, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Slippers, yeah.
Dress up or slacks or sweats.
I don't like sweats. I'm always dressing up. I literally
Yes, you're a dress up girl. I've
I'm
seen.
a dress up girl. I hate sweats. I'm like, I was in sweats for how many years? Why people wearing this thing on the road? No, it's for sporting events.
I
I'm
know that
like,
you're a dress up girl. Patty and cocoa bread or festival and fried fish.
ugh, damn, that's a hard one. What's
I
it done
know.
the first time? Every time I go back to Jamaica, the first thing I eat is patty and cocoa bread. So I think I go for patty and cocoa bread. A juicy patty though. Gonna be conflicted, but I'm a juicy girl.
Juicy girl.
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong with that, honey. Action movie or romance?
Depends on the type of evening
Depends on
or settings. Yeah, so I like both.
Netflix or movie theater.
Hmm. I haven't. Well, I've recently started going back to movie theaters after a whole long time. So I think Netflix and chill with a glass of wine.
Yeah. Woohoo! Sounds good. I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
Will Smith or Barack Obama?
Obama.
Tyson Gay or Justin Gatlin?
Oh. Hmm. Tyson Gay or Justin Gatlin? Maybe Tyson.
Tyson Gay or Carmelita Jetta?
Uh, Jetta.
Carmelita Jetta or Alison Felix?
Allison.
Alison Felix or Flojo?
Allison.
Alice, Alison Felix or Christina Orogo?
Uh, Allison.
Alison Felix or Sanya Richards?
Sanya.
Sanya Richards or what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Oh my God, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember it. Wallace Spearman.
Wallace.
I know you would say Wallace. So Wallace won. Wallace won. And with that said, I have a little poem for you. And I'm
Okay.
going to read your poem and then we're going to wrap up. So, guys, see, you get to know a lot more about Shericka, who we have been pining over for ever and ever. So, here goes your poem. From St. Elizabeth to Olympic flame, Shericka Williams carved her name, medals shining bright. In Beijing, in Beijing glow, a radiant light, Jamaica celebrates. 4 by 4, the baton passed, relay strength that built to last. World and Olympic Games, you gave your best. Glasgow gold around your neck, Jamaica celebrates. Record set with speed and grace, Jamaica's pride in every race, a legacy both fierce and true. Shericka Williams, we celebrate you. Jamaica celebrates.
Thank you. That was
You,
nice.
you are welcome. You are welcome, my dear. And with that said, It was indeed a pleasure having you here. And even though it took you a while to get back to me, it was worth the wait. And before you go, I normally give my guests an opportunity to ask me one question. So while you think about your question, I will do the wrap up. Guys, thank you very much for being here tonight, of course, to celebrate with Shericka Williams out of St. Elizabeth Technical High School and to UTech Knights. Thank you all for being here. Africa, Asia, Antarctica, Oceanic, Europe, North America, South America. Thank you all for being here. Olympian Grace Jackson was here. Olympian Vivian Morano was here. Olympian Vonnie M was here. Wayne Walsh is also saying, I remember her from Fells UTech. We called her Wire. Wire indeed.
Fells of that.
Fells, yes, yes. UTech, man, that's our place. Yeah.
Our place.
We used to sneak around and come around barn just to see you guys. And I used to show up at the field sometimes when I don't have class to see the athletes training and stuff. So it was indeed a pleasure seeing you guys.
UTech was nice. UTech drink
Yeah,
cups.
man.
UTech drink cups were the best.
Girl, let us not talk about that on air. UTech had some of the best drink ups, and let me tell you, UTech was, yes, Engine and all those places.
Engine was the best. Engine drink
Yes,
cup was the
yeah,
best.
Engine drink up was indeed the best. I went to walk with our bottle. Yeah, UTech college days was indeed Vonnie M. 1972 and 1976 Olympian is saying, perfect poem for Shericka. HP, you are painting pictures with your words. Thank you very, very much. Novelet Smith Brown is saying, it's also nice to have Grace Jackson in the chat. Indeed, indeed. All these Olympians in the chat. Vivian Morano, 1988 Olympian. Grace Jackson from 1984, I think, until way, way up. Vonnie M, 1972 for Jamaica, 1976 for Canada. And everybody who turned out tonight, thank you very much. It was indeed a pleasure for me. I had a lot of fun. So now I will give the world and Olympic silver medalist her opportunity to ask me a question. She's smiling. I wonder what it is.
No, I just want to wonder what inspired you to start a podcast with athletes past and present.
Um, passion, passion. My passion for the sport, passion for country, and passion for the athletes. I love the athletes. I am the biggest track fan in Jamaica.
Have you
People
ever
will
tried
tell
track
you.
before? Have you ever tried
I
running?
I did as a little girl. Yeah, I did the sprints as a little girl.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did. But it was all to celebrate. This podcast is really to celebrate you guys and getting to talk to you guys. Something I've always wanted to do. I've been to the stadium and seen you guys run, see you on TV and stuff. And I said, you know something? I want to get to know these athletes and share their story. And here we are.
Perfect.
Here we are. So we're going to see you some more, right?
I'm thinking about it, but yes.
Yeah. I'm happy that you took the time out to be here, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself and I did not stress you out too much.
It was
Coaches,
perfect. It was
coaches,
good.
it was good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Coaches Desk TV, hail up. Thank you very much for being here. J Jar, who is Giovanni Jarrett. Yes, I'm going to call her name a lot. You know that athlete,
Yeah,
Sherry?
man, I know Giovanni. Yeah,
Yes,
we were on team together. Yeah,
St. Jago girl, long jumper.
long jumper.
She said, I've made several teams with her,
Yeah,
but
okay,
never
so
was acquainted with each other. Nice interview. Thank you very much. No, me not understand. Only the different team and don't know each other.
we know each other. But think about it when you go on teams, it's like you have a little click, and most likely MVP group was so big, we didn't need a whole lot of outsiders, but we did. For me, I think Kenya, Sinclair, and Novlin was the closest I've got to some people on the team. Yeah, so our group was big, so it was like we had our
Yeah.
own little click going on. So it was like
Yeah, that's true. MVP normally have a lot
we had
of
a lot
athletes
on
on
their
the
team. We
team.
had a lot of athletes on the team. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because back then you had the Bridget, you had Freighter, you had Nesta Carter, Sharon, Shelley, Asafa, so many.
Yeah.
So many, yeah, indeed. Big up MVP, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Coach's desk is saying, okay, he's talking about Monk Street. One, Monk Street, never two. But of course, St. Elizabeth Technical in the building. Shericka Williams, thank you very much for being here. And remember to exercise and drink your water.
I will try. We need to have an exercise group where I can join.
I know, I know. But where you are, it's easy to find people. Cause you're in one of those places where, oh my, as you move, you see people.
Seeing people and talking to people is totally different thing.
True, 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 true. And I know that you athletes sometimes like your space and
I
stuff.
know if there's a group and I can join, then yes, I'll go join a running group. But I mean, I haven't seek out any, so
Okay.
I'm just too lazy to get up and do it by myself.
I know, right? Especially when you get some time off, you just want to say, Coach's desk is saying, big up Shericka Williams. Indeed, big up Shericka Williams. Um, Shericka, you have done Jamaica, you have made Jamaica proud. And again, before you go, I can't thank you enough, but thank you for your service. Thank you for what you have done. Wire, and now I can see why you get that name. Who remember her at the Beijing Olympic Games coming through the middle with a burst of speed? And of course, she repeated that 2009 Berlin. A Jamaica sweetheart, a Jamaica darling. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure to be on your show.
I'm glad that you had fun. You had a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, but it was great. It was good.
I didn't stress you out too much.
Not at all.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to allow you to close the show. I'm going to give you the last words.
I want to say thank you all for tuning in to HP Chat and continue to support, subscribe. I'm going to subscribe. I don't know how to subscribe, but I'm going to try that. I don't know, but I'm going to try. I don't subscribe to nobody's channel. So if you ask me to subscribe and I haven't subscribed to anything,
I'm going to send you the link. Don't worry.
But thank you all for joining us tonight. It was really, really a pleasure for you all to see me since you haven't seen me in so long. But I'm here. You can follow me on Instagram and social media, whatever platform. I just don't reply to you all the time, but I will reply maybe a year after, but I will reply.
Indeed, she was. Shericka, thank you very much,
Thank you.
enjoy your weekend. And please not to be a stranger, okay?
Oh no, man. We'll talk.
Once I interview an athlete, they're no longer a stranger. They can tell you they're no longer a stranger. So thank you very much, honey, for being here. Have a good evening, okay?
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Guys, thank you very much for being here. What a gem, what a gem, what a sweetheart she is. And it is amazing. It was just amazing talking to her. And this is my favorite part of what I do of my podcast, talking to the athletes, laughing with them, just to hear about their journey, the little things that they've been through, and how they overcome to make the Jamaica proud. So guys, thank you very much. Let us keep, Shericka in our thoughts. One off the brilliant, brilliant, brilliant one. And as I said before, I will never forget 2008 when she won that silver medal coming from behind. She actually came from behind if you were watching that race. And I'm sure a lot of us watching our television was saying, go Shericka, go Shericka, go Shericka. We were cheering her on, and she delivered. She delivered. She delivered. She has been delivering for Jamaica from 2005, not just 2008, but as far back as 2005. So guys, thank you for being here. And next week I will be back here with another Olympian who has done Jamaica proud. And this person is from the field. So you can guess, I'm going to give you some hints. She is, yes, it's a she. She's a field event athlete, and she was a part of the Jamaican team at the 2016 and the 2021 Olympic team. And she will be in the building next week to tell us about her journey. Thank you all for being here, everyone who showed up. Thank you so much. All 7 continents. Thank you. Coach's Desk. Thank you very much. Knoplet Smith Brown is saying, it's always nice to see our former athletes and getting to know them better. All my respect to the ladies. Well done. Thank you very much for that, Knoplet. Thank you. And that's the idea of being here, to showcase the people who brought us the glory. And Shericka Williams is one of them. Out of St. Elizabeth, the parish with the most food. I need to visit St. Elizabeth to get some of that food. Thank you all for being here. Let me see another comment. Coach's Desk is saying, we like when our athletes stop by. Indeed. 1 Monk Street, St. Jago is saying 1 Monk Street. Grace Jackson, thank you for being here. Ivan Morano, thank you for being here. Vonnie M, Olympian, all Olympians, thank you guys for being here. Jupiter Saturn is saying, big up to you too. He said, like up the live. Thank you guys very much. Please to like, share, and subscribe, because this is the kind of content that we want the Jamaican people, we want the diaspora and everyone to see that in Jamaica, our athletes are not just about the track, but they have very, very interesting story, and they are full of fun and joy and everything. Of course, Noblet Smith is saying, thanking Shericka for her service. Melissa is saying, great interview. Thank you, thank you. Please to subscribe. Another Olympian in the building. Lilith Hodges, another outstanding Olympian, formerly of St. Mary and St. Mary High School, is in the building. Lilith, thank you for being here. Also, Grace Jackson is saying, well done, Shericka. Indeed. Stefan Francis is saying, God's plan, indeed, indeed. Great job to Shericka, another Olympian. Lilith Hodges is saying, Miss Vilma Charlton, another Olympian in the building. All the support for Shericka Williams. Miss Vilma Charlton is saying, nice interview, Shericka. Good to have seen you at our NAJO function. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Grace Jackson is saying, thanks to you for connecting us all. Thank you very much for that, Grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kenya Sinclair, is that the Kenya Sinclair? Please let me know if that is the Kenya Sinclair, formerly of St. Jago and the Jamaica 800 meter. Kenya, if that's you, my number is running on the screen. Please to make note of that number and send me a message, because I'd love to hear your story also. That's Kenya Sinclair, Massey. If that's you, please to write down this number. Take the number down before I go and message me, please. JJR, why are you giving all that trouble? JJR is saying, we are the best from the West. Indeed. Beauty in all things is saying, great interview. Thank you guys so much. Kina, please to take down the number. I'm not going to end until Kina tell me that she got the number. Please to send me a message, Kina, so that we can have you tell your story. Nice and sweet, just like Shericka and all the others. What else? Mitch Ellie is saying, Kina Sinclair, long distance runner. Okay, so it is Kina Sinclair, the middle distance runner. Kina, please to take my number. More Monk Street. Wow, what a whole lot of Monk Street in the building. Monica Lewis is saying, great interview. Thank you very much, Monica. Thank you for your support. And as always, you are early on the board. Thank you guys very much. I still see everyone still here. So it seems as if none of us want to go after this great interview with Shericka Williams. Kina, okay, Kina says she got the number. Please to send me a message, Kina, so we can get you on the show very, very soon. Another of Jamaica's gem, another gem in the building, 800 meters. Out of Monk Street, St. Jago is in the building tonight. Let me see, St. Jago was in the building tonight. St. Jago Olympian was in the building. Our athlete was in the building tonight. Veer was in the building tonight. St. Mary High was in the building tonight. The Queen School was in the building tonight. St. Elizabeth Technical was in the building tonight. UTech Knights was in the building tonight. Which other high school was in the building tonight? Big up to all the schools where it all started. Thank you very much. Keeney, I'm looking at my phone and I'm not seeing any message coming from you. Let me see. Keeney, I'm looking at my phone. Okay, let me see if that's you. Keeney, I'm looking at my phone and I haven't seen any message as yet. But please to touch base so we can get you on the show. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great, great weekend. And let us continue to support our athletes. Let us continue to love our athletes. Let us continue to celebrate them. Let us continue to be kind with our words, because sometimes they are out there competing, and believe me, they are not at 100, but they are doing their best. Let us continue to speak positive over them and over their career. Thank you all very much. And Shericka, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Okay, someone is saying Dintil is, oh yes, Dintil is also in the building, my good friend Marlene Green. Oh my gosh, she's going to kill me. But Dintil is also in the building. School of Elva Goldburn and many others. Grace Jackson from the Queen School, winning champs 1978. Grace Jackson, stole champs 1978. After St. Mary High won it 1976 and 1977 with the likes of Jackie Pusey. Many of you might not know these names, but Jackie Pusey, another outstanding Olympian and athlete for Jamaica, one of the few athletes to run on both relays at the Olympic Games for Jamaica. Jackie Pusey. Thank you all. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Now, if you have no more questions for me, I am going to go. Thank you very much, guys. Join me next week when we will be back in the building with a two-time Olympian from the field. And this time it is a thrower. Yes. And let me see if I get it right. The discus throw. She is a discus thrower. And she will be in the building next week. Thank you guys very much. Have a great weekend. Be kind to someone. Be kind to our athletes. Thank you very much. Vivian Morano, formerly of Veer. Veer is in the building also, as I said before. So guys, thank you. Have a good night. I notice that you're all still here. Do I leave with all of you? I'm seeing 62 of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. It was indeed a pleasure having Shericka Williams in the building, the girl from where the food enough. The next time she come to Jamaica, I have to go down St. Elizabeth, go get some yam and banana and plantain and all those things. But thank you guys very much. All 7 continents. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to Shericka for making the time to be here tonight. JJR, thank you very much. Josiah, if you're not in bed as yet, good night from Auntie. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Have a good night. Peace, peace, be kind. And as I said, a thrower will be in the building next week, and we will hear her story and the challenges that our athletes in the field are having, because there are a lot of challenges with our field event athletes, and she will be here to tell her story next week. So JJR, we are still waiting to have you on the show. We're still waiting on JJR, who is Giovanni, the long jumper, who is about 7 feet tall. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Have a good night. Take care. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio, where track and field is our business. Jamaica, one people.